Hello everyone, this is BSc second year real analysis lecture. So we are discussing what is meant by countable set and uncountable sets. Now corollary. Any subset of a countable set is countable. Any subset of a countable set is countable. This corollary says that if you have a countable set, then any subset of a set is countable. And countable means we have discussed in last lecture. Countable, there are three meanings of this word. If the set is empty, then we call the set is countable. If the set is finite, then we call set is countable. And if the set is countably infinite, then we call the set is countable. Countably infinite means there exists a 1-1 or 2 correspondence between the set and set of positive integers, that is set of natural numbers. Countably infinite, a set is said to be countably infinite if there exists a 1-1 or 2 correspondence between S2 set of natural numbers. Corollary says that any subset of a countable set is countable. If S is any countable set, then any subset of S, if S is a countable set, then any subset of S is also countable. So this corollary is simple. Any subset of a countable set is countable. Now theorem 14. Theorem 14. The Cartesian product of two countable sets is countable. Theorem 14. The Cartesian product of two countable set is countable. Of two countable sets is countable. So what is meant by countable Cartesian product? If A and B are two subsets of a given set of real numbers, then their Cartesian product is denoted like this and defined as the tuples A comma B, where A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Hence the Cartesian product of two sets A and B, which are a subsets of R, here denoted like this, and these are the two tuples A comma B, where A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Now we have to prove that the Cartesian product of two countable sets is countable. Then first proof. First, if any of the two sets A and B is empty. If any of the two sets A and B is empty, then their Cartesian product is empty. Then A cross B is empty. If A is empty, then A cross B is empty, or B is empty, then A cross B is empty, which implies that A cross B is countable. This implies that A cross B is countable, because we know that empty set is a countable. Now second condition, if any of the two sets any of the two sets A and B, any of the two sets A and B is finite set. Finite set. Then what happens? Let A be a finite set which contains m elements. So A is A1, A2, dot 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 am, and B is infinite set. B is B1, B2, dot 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 Bn. So if any of the two sets is finite, then we take A as a finite set and B as a infinite set. Then the Cartesian product is A cross B is what? A1 B1, A1 B1, A2 B2, A1 B1, A2 B2, sorry, A1 B1, A1 B2, A1 B2, dot 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 dot. Then A2 B1, A2 B1, A2 B2, dot dot dot. Then B1, AM B1, AM B1, AM B2, like that. So this is the Cartesian product of two sets, in which one set is a finite, that is A is finite, which contains m elements, and B is infinite. Then the Cartesian product is this. Or we can write in like this: A1 B1, A1 B2, dot dot dot. Then A2 B1, A2 B2, dot dot dot. Then AM B1, AM B2, dot dot dot. So we can write like this. This is the Cartesian product of A and B, which is what? This is the Cartesian product of A and B, this set. So we can arrange A cross B such that it is equivalent to set of natural numbers. We can arrange this set such that they are equivalent to set of natural numbers. Now arrange the elements. First this element, second this element, dot 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 mth element. Then this is m plus 1 element, this is m plus 2 element, dot 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 dot, like this. Now arrange A cross B in the form A1 B1, A1 B1, then A2 B1, A2 B1, then dot dot dot, then AM B1, AM b1, then dot 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 a1 b2, then a2 b1, dot dot dot, then am b2. If we arrange the elements of A cross B like this, then we can number each element. Hence A cross B is equivalent to set of natural numbers, because 1 is mapped to a1 b1, 2 is mapped to a2 b1, 3 is mapped to a3 b1, and like this. Hence, if one set is finite and the other set is infinite, then we can say that their Cartesian product is countable. Then their Cartesian product must be countable. Now, the third part of this theorem, both A and B are infinite. If both A and B are infinite, that is, consider A to be A1, A2, A3, dot dot dot, and B is nothing but B1, B2, B3, dot dot dot. Now, their Cartesian product is A cross B is nothing but A1 B1, A1 B1, A1 B2, a1 b2, then a1 b1, a1 b2, a1 b3, a1 b3, dot dot dot, then a2 b1, a2 b1, a2 b2, a2 b3, then dot dot dot, then a3 b1, a3 b2, a3 b3, then dot dot dot, and dot dot dot. Now, this is the Cartesian product of A and B. Now, if we arrange this set in the form such that this is the first element, this is the second element, this is the third element, a1 b1, a2 b1, a3 b1, this is a third element, and so on. This is a, but if we arrange the elements like this, then we can find one map. We can find one map F from set of natural numbers to the Cartesian product of the two infinite set A and B, such that f of 1 is nothing but a1 b1, a1 b1, f of 2 is nothing but a2 b1, a2 b1, f of 3 is nothing but a3 b1, a3 b1, and so on. This function is both 1 1 and on 2. F is 1 1 and on 2. Which says that there exists a function n from set of natural numbers to the Cartesian product of two countable infinite set A and B, which is both 1 and 2, which implies that A cross B is equivalent to N, which says that A cross B is equivalent to N. A cross B is equivalent to N. This implies that A cross B is countable. So we have discussed three conditions. First condition, if any of the A and B is empty. Second condition, one is finite, one is infinite. And third condition, both A and B are infinite countable sets. Then whatever the condition is there, if A and B are countable sets, then their Cartesian product is also countable. This implies that Cartesian product of two countable sets is also a countable. The Cartesian product of two countable sets is also countable. Now consider one theorem. Countable union of countable sets is countable. Countable union of countable sets is countable. Theorem, very important theorem. Countable union of countable sets is countable. So this is the statement given. So countable means finite, either finite or empty or countable infinite. So we can write the theorem like statement first, statement second. Finite union of countable set is countable. Finite union of countable sets is countable. So this is the second statement of this theorem. This theorem implies this statement. The countable union of countable sets is countable. Then from this theorem we can say that finite union of countable sets is countable. Now also we can say the third statement. A countable union of finite sets is countable, because every finite set is a countable set. Finite sets is countable. So these are the three statements. These 2 and 3 statement which are the conclusions of the statement first. Now I am going to prove theorem first. Consider the sets. Proof. Consider the sets AI is nothing but AI1, AI1, AI2, dot dot dot, AIN. So where I is running from 1 to 3 dot 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 n and so on. And suppose that each AI is countable. Each AI is countable. So we have considered one set, and the elements of the sets are AI1, AI2, dot dot dot, AIN, where I running from 1 to n dot 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 and so on. So suppose that each AI is countable, and their countable union is I running from 1 to infinity AI. We have to prove this set is countable. Now elements of this set are the elements of the sets are of the form so elements of set I running from 1 to infinity AI, the elements of the set A11, A12, A13 and so on, A21, A22, A23 and so on, A31, A32, A33 and so on, A41, A42, A43 and so on. So this is these all elements are and so on, which belongs to the union of I running from 1 to infinity AI. So arrange these elements in the form such that this is equivalent to set of natural numbers. Now give the numbering. So this is the first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth and so on. If we give numberings to the elements like this, then this is automatically equivalent to set of natural numbers. So 1 maps to A11, 2 maps to A12, 3 maps to A21, 4 maps to A13, 5 maps to A22, 6 maps to A31. So we can define a function n from this set to set of natural numbers such that which satisfies these conditions, then and this function is both 1 1 and 1 2. This function is both 1 1 and 1 2. So the function defined in this, so f from n to union of I running from 1 to infinity ai is both 1 1 and 1 2, is both 1 1 and 1 2. Which says that this implies there is a 1 1 correspondence between, there is 1 1 correspondence, there is a 1 1 correspondence between the set of natural numbers, that is set of positive integers, and the countable union of countable sets. This implies that I running from 1 to infinity ai is countable. From this we can say that countable union of countable sets is countable. Countable union of countable sets is countable. So this is a very important part of the countability, and many times this theorem is asked in exams. So this is a very important theorem for the preparation of SET and NET and for the preparation of our semester exam, which says that a set is said to be countable if there exists a 1-1-1-2 correspondence between the set S and set of natural numbers, and this theorem says that the countable union of countable sets is countable. Countable union means this theorem says that countable union of countable sets is countable. So first keep in mind that the countable word implies three conditions. When does the set is said to be countable? Countable union of countable sets is countable. Now, in the statement of this theorem, the word countable introduced three times. First time, second time, and third time. So countable union means countably infinite union, countably infinite union, or finite union. So we can say the statement in other form. So finite union of countable sets is countable. Also this countable denotes either the set is countably infinite or the set is finite, and this set also implies either the set is countably infinite, or finite. So there is another statement we can introduce related to the first statement, such that the finite union of countable sets is countable, or the finite union of finite set is countable, or the finite union of countable sets is countable. So from the statement we can say that finite union of finite set is countable. Finite union of countable sets is countable. Second statement, finite union of finite sets is finite or countable. Also third, finite union countable union of a finite